Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Oops. It's not the best of starts, hey? Oh well. All right, a lot of color changing again. Yeah, my goodness. But we are close to that right edge of this diagonal, so yeah, hopefully I shouldn't have too many needles on threads because quite a few of these are, yeah, parked in the next diagonal. So I won't need to mess with them for a while. Oh my gosh. There. I kept getting surrounding threads as well, instead of just the one I wished to pick up. Yeah, so we're finally having some lovely weather. It's been nice and sunny. Going for a couple of walks now that the sidewalks have drained. Yeah, unfortunately, with the cold and stuff, the sidewalks tend to sink quite easily. And then you end up with a perfect, bowl shape to hold water that'll then freeze. But yeah, now it's starting to dry out finally, so. Hope you are having some nice weather too. Yeah, we'll be thinning this area out a bit. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, gee. Split the thread there and I missed the proper hole entirely. That's like it. Okay. All right, so either way, either I can go down to the left and work my way up, or I'll just not do this section all in one go. Yeah, because kind of going left, I can see each time I go left, I got to go even further left. And yeah, at that point, it just becomes more work trying to do all these stitches at one time than to just split them up. Do these two and park it, and then pick it up later after I've done the stitches to the left so that I don't close them in. Alrighty. Oh yes, someone out there is enjoying the dry road. Drive much faster than you can when it's icy. Yeah, that's what I decided. Yeah, as you can see, I have a few of this black diamond, a few threads of this part, but that's all right. There's a lot of this. Yeah, we still have over 4,600 black diamond stitches in this pattern. Yeah, we still got quite a ways to go. Got over 100,000 stitches still left to do. So less than half of them, but yeah, that's still a good number. Oh, sorry, I forgot my dishwasher was running when I started filming, so it's kind of noisy in the background there. My bad. Yes, it'll be Easter soon. My kid gets a whole week off school for Easter. So, wow, you're spoiled. When I was a kid, we got 4-day weekend for Easter. You got the Good Friday and the Easter Monday off. That was it. Yeah, I think their school days are slightly longer than what I had when I was a kid, so they get more days off. Like we got winter break, a week spring break sometimes. One year we didn't. And there was you know, Easter long weekend, but that was about it. But he gets like, as well as winter break, he gets 3 other weeks off scattered throughout the year, like a midterm break and a spring break, and so yeah, they're really lucky. Yeah, I was really fortunate when I was when he was younger, too young to leave at home alone. I mean, he's a teenager now, so that's fine. But when he was younger, where I worked, they actually let me bring him to work with me, so that was quite nice. And he would sweep out the warehouse, and then my boss would buy him a chocolate milk for it. Or when somebody needed the bay door opened, he was very happy to go run and push the button. So yeah, when they went back to school when he was in grade 2 or something, and it said, you know, what did you do this summer? And his was, I went to work and opened the garage door. Oh, it was so cute. And then once I said, oh, I didn't have much of a summer. I had to go to work every day. I said, dude, you got to come to work and then sit and watch, you know, movies on your portable DVD player. So, yeah. He's like me, though. He likes to be home. Yeah. I see those challenges that say, you know, could you stay in your house and not leave for, you know, X amount of time for, you know, $1 million? And I'm like, okay, unless you have $1 million to actually give me, like, don't ask, because I could totally do that. Yeah, I may talk a lot, as you've noticed if you've watched other videos by me, but I do need my quiet alone time to recharge. My husband and son are very similar, so it works out well. Sometimes we'll spend a weekends mostly on our own. My husband will be in his little office or the garage, and I'll be in my stitching spot, and my son will be in his room. And we come out and say hi to each other every now and then, eat meals together, and then go back to our stuff. And yeah, it works for us. It's definitely all a good match for us. Yeah, mine and my son's thing is we rickroll each other. He started it. But yeah, it's been fun. So now on Facebook, all my friends know if they find good rickroll memes, send them to me, because then I text them to my son, and he gets me back pretty good. Oh, there's a really funny one. I'll actually post a link to it if I remember. Leave me a comment if I forget, so I can do that. And it was the funniest one. And it's been months since he got me with it. But every time I think about it, it makes me laugh again. Oh. But yeah, it all started one time. He said, "Mom, check out this cool video." Brings over his phone. So, you know, like a sucker, I look, and yeah, it was Rickroll music. So, oh. But yeah, it's funny. So I shared him one that said, you know, be like Rick. Rick will never give you up, let you down, run around, you know, and be like Rick. And yeah, it's pretty fun. So I texted him, and I get back, really? Oh, one time was right near the end of the year. He would get me and he'd say, it's the last Rickroll of 2021. But then, of course, it never was. And then, like, you know, New Year's Day, he got me and said, yeah, it's the first Rickroll of 2022. What he actually did was he was playing Minecraft, and he made a house which had pictures on it, and the pictures had the lyrics of the Never Gonna Give You Up. And of course, Mom, check out my Minecraft world. Oh, okay, I say, to go look. And then I was like, oh, come on, really? So I shared a picture. So he said, wow, that was dedication, you know. It took a while for him to build a house and make pictures just so he could do that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I saw one that had a person had a QR code tattooed to their leg that when you scanned it, it sent you to Never Gonna Give You Up. It's like, okay, now that's real dedication to the joke. I mean, they literally got it tattooed on themselves. My gosh. Ooh. Yeah, I am too much of a chicken, and I don't have any tattoos. It's not so much the pain, it's the, well, what if I regret it? You know, what if my tastes change and then I'm stuck with something I hate, or it just doesn't turn out the way you know, you expected. And so I kind of want one, but I'm also kind of too chicken to do it too. Thinking if I did, I should probably get like a Star Trek communicator or something, right? There's actually, my husband's in amateur radio, and one of the members is a big Star Trek fan, and yeah, he has the communicator right on his chest where it would be on a uniform shirt. So yeah, that's pretty fun. Yeah, my sister's a big Denver Broncos fan, so she has a logo on her shoulder. The Denver Broncos. Which I always tease her because of that scene in The Simpsons when he said he wanted to own the Dallas Cowboys and somebody brought him the Denver Broncos, and he goes, "Oh, the Denver Broncos." So every now and then I'll say that to her as a joke. Yeah. And family jokes are fun. I haven't really watched The Simpsons much the last few years. I don't know. I think one of their main writers or something must have left because, yeah, it's just not that funny anymore. I mean, it used to be just hilarious, and now it's kind of funny, but not as funny. Kind of like Monty Python after John Cleese left. Just, yeah, was not as funny. Obviously, he was one of the funniest. He left to do Fawlty Towers, which I own. Yeah, I like British comedies. Red Dwarf's another favorite. Yeah, it was funny because I introduced it to my best friend in high school, and in one episode, the character of the cat, who's, you know, he's not the brightest, and there's some, you know, difficult scientific thing he's trying to understand, and he just keeps saying, "So what is it?" And they try to explain what it is, and then he just turns to the other one and says, "So what is it?" Because he doesn't understand any of the explanations. And then at the end, finally, somebody says, "Look, it's a magic door." And then he says, "Oh, a magic door. Why didn't you say so?" So, my best friend and I, we had science class together. So every time after the teacher would explain something really complex, we'd just look at each other and both say, "So what is it?" Oh. Our teacher was not a fan of the show, so he had no idea why we would do that. But yeah. Yes. I like the dry humor. In that one, they said they had a stasis leak. It says, you know, try to explain it so that even Lister can understand. It says, "Oh dear." He says, "Yes, well, putting it in your basic layman's terms, a stasis leak is a leak, right? In stasis, hence the name stasis leak." He said, "You don't really know what it is yourself, do you?" No, I don't. He's just trying to sound smart. Yeah, so that was a show from the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. Got kind of a cult following, so yeah. Okay. Oh, I think I parked this one incorrectly. I did too. Yep. Yeah, my mistake. That's okay. We can fix this. Oh, well, fix a little easier if I threaded both strands through the needle, Yeah, so we don't make a freaking knot on the other side. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's what I did. So, yeah, because I parked it where this thread of the color I'm using now was supposed to be, or it was one next to it when it should be two away from it. So, yep. I make mistakes sometimes, that's okay. But see, the fortunate thing with parking is it's easier to just unpark it. If I'd actually done those stitches there, then I would have to, you know, possibly rip and cut them out. That part really sucks. So, I mean, sometimes that's going to happen no matter how careful you are, but I find this reduces it, because if it's just parked and not done, then it can be fixed without too much of a fuss. All right. Yeah, garbage day out there. You can probably hear the garbage can, or garbage truck, I should say, picking up the garbage cans. Yeah, they actually changed their system a few years ago. Gave us all those like square ones that they can pick up with the arm, the mechanical arm, so it's easier on the sanitation workers. And they also actually now have you get two bins, so one's for garbage and the other one is for compost. So yeah, that's kind of nice. Every little bit can help, right? Alrighty. Ooh, try that again. Yeah, especially for my husband hated throwing grass clippings in the garbage too. So, I mean, especially in the summer, you fill up that bin pretty quick, and you know, you'd rather put it where it's compostable. Turn it into some nice rich soil rather than put it in the landfill. Because yeah, I was reading about how even biodegradable stuff in the landfill often doesn't biodegrade very quickly because of the there's not enough oxygen in there to drive the reaction. So yeah, that they've gone through where they've dug into old landfills and found like perfectly preserved apple cores and newspaper that is still readable and such. So yeah, my mother-in-law actually has her own compost bin that doesn't get collected because she gardens. So yeah, she does it herself to save for gardening. She hasn't had much luck with fruit trees though. She said one time she bought a peach tree and it wasn't cheap. Like she said it was like $200 or $300. So, and she nurtured it and everything, and it gave her 2 peaches and then it died. So those were the most expensive peaches she ever had in her life. Oh my gosh. But she said, yeah, they once had a place where the soil was like black. And she said it was so rich that it grew potatoes like as big as a person's head. She said it was wild. Like, yeah, they had 6 kids. And, you know, one potato like this was enough to feed the whole family. Oh yeah, my husband said too, they had a dog who was, again, not the brightest. And it would eat apples if you left them on the ground, and if it didn't chew them, it just like tried to swallow them and then would start choking. And then he said like he and his brother had to like, you know, massage its throat to get the apple to go, you know, to move. And then the dog wouldn't learn, you know. It would just go and try it again. Like, oh, I was like, one of my friends in high school, their dog couldn't swim, which, you know, most dogs can swim, but this dog couldn't. And it would go to the end of the dock and try to bite the waves at the end of the dock. And then of course it would fall in and just, you know, frantically thrashing around. It doesn't know how to swim. Somebody had to jump in and rescue it. It would shake itself off, run to the end of the dock and start doing it again. Like, really? Oh. Like, sometimes they problem solve, but some of them are just, yeah. I slammed my head into the wall, you know, 51 times and it didn't work, but maybe the 52nd time it'll work, you know? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna go left, work my way back up. Yeah, I had a pet bird once that would freak out until it flew into a wall, and then it was fine. It was like we used to joke that it had to knock some sense into itself. Ugh. Yeah, it's a blue budgie named Chico. Had him for a few years. Okay. Yeah, again, when you actually want to split the threads, it doesn't want to split because you want to get it sort of exactly down the center so that the rest of the stitch, the square, closes up over it. Oh, where did I put my scissors? Way over there. Out of reach. Okay. Okay, 310. Okay, so I can see I have one parked here, but I'm going to take that one and carry it downwards. And I'm going to take a short piece and carry it, attach it, and then carry it to the right. If I have a shorter piece. Oh, perfect, I do. To be careful not to start it here. It needs to be down here, which I knew from checking my grid line. Yeah, I admire people who can work without a grid, but I already make enough mistakes as it is, even with one. So I'm not going to work without one. Okay. Yeah, quite a lot of just single stitches here. So I had someone point out to me recently that it would probably make more sense for me to park in the lower left and go, you know, upwards rather than downwards to come up in empty holes more often. And yeah, they're right. But unfortunately, by the time I realized that, because of course it took me a while to just sort of develop this method, figuring out as I go along, that I got so used to always parking in the upper right that I think if I tried to change it now, I would mess myself up. So I'm not always going to be coming up in empty holes. You could, of course, tweak this to so that you do, if you prefer to do that, if you want to be more detail oriented than I am. But okay, I think I just see what I decided to do. Yeah, I decided to do separate threads instead of trying to carry that parked one all over the place. Yeah, because again, as you can see, I have a whole bunch sort of traveling down to the right into the next diagonal. So I will need a lot of this color anyway. Yeah, still over 8,000 of this 939. Okay. Okay. Which is that color I said that I think you should be able to buy in a cone, but for some reason can't. No, it's a pretty common color. You can buy 823 on the cone, but not 939. There was even a very bright green that you could buy in a cone. I was thinking, I don't think I've seen that shade used that much. I guess at least not in the patterns I've bought. Like there's Christmas red I get because a lot of people like to do the Santa pictures. So of course that will take a lot of that Christmas red, but yeah. I don't know why they wouldn't include 939 navy blue. It is strange that. Okay, so another one we can finish. Do the stitch and end it off. If I can get both threads. Ah, yes, and it's super short, just long enough for this one stitch. Perfect. There we go. So yeah, because I'm not always making sure I come up in empty or emptier holes, my back isn't always going to look perfectly consistent, but that's fine. It's not lumpy or full of knots, so it won't matter if it lies nice and smooth, which it does. It won't cause me any problems for mounting it, finishing it. I have not done myself, but I know some people have said if they do have some difficulty with knots, that one just pulled right free, that they actually have a very thin layer of padding placed between the embroidery and the frame, and the knots can kind of sink into it. So yeah, some people are really dedicated to having a nice neat back, but I say mine's good enough. It was funny because somebody was asking, can I see the back of your work? And there were people sharing, and then there was a lot of people saying, who really cares what the back looks like? And one lady said, my mother told me backs are like underwear. You don't show them to just anybody, and I don't know you well enough yet. Oh, so that gave me a pretty good laugh. Yeah. Yeah, because that sort of used to be a big hallmark of embroidery, that you had to keep your back looking as neat as the front, or at least as neat as possible. That turns some people away from making it an enjoyable hobby. So I say, if you don't care about having a neat back so that you can enjoy the work, just do that, right? Okay, so I'm going to end this one off because there's another fairly long thread part of this, so I don't need this one. And to carry it sort of down to the right, to the next instance of that stitch, is quite a ways. Longer than I want to carry. It'll use up more thread at that point than stopping and restarting, so that is why I decided to do that. Okay, I see what I decided to do here and here. Okay. There we go. Okay, just double checking 210, 220, 230, 240. Okay, that means that yes, that is the correct spot. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of similar colors parked in these big squares that are right next to each other, so got to be very careful to ensure that you're working in the right place. Okay. Right, so that one carries down. This one is, yes, quite short, but I think it can stretch for far enough to do this one stitch that's sort of not going to flow well with the other path I'm going to take with the other thread. So I am going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to park it and use it up there. So right on that one there. Yeah. Okay, so this purple is going to carry back up to the right. You can see lots of this thread's going to travel all over the place. Looks chaotic, but in my mind it'll make sense. It makes sense to me. Okay, let's see if I can get this needle out or not. You do not want to let go. All right, got you now. Come on, there. I saw there was an empty one there, so I was just trying to get it free from the other ones. cross that one and then do a bunch in a row and then cross them off. It's just a little closer to where I'm going to park it. So yeah, kind of adjust depending on where I want my thread to end up. Oh, am I looking at the right place? I think I may have grabbed the wrong spot. Okay, let's take a look here. No, I didn't. No, I didn't do it incorrectly. Yeah, okay. I see what I did. Whew. I was a little nervous there. Thinking I'd really messed it up. I did not. So yeah, I'm not always coming up in empty holes with this, but I find most of the time it still stays pretty neat. Also the little snag nabbit tool that I use when there's ends poking up, if the stitches are kind of uneven, I can help use it to sort of smooth and separate them if necessary. And so, yeah. I don't at the moment plan to change my stitching technique. If I do, I think I'd have to start it on an entirely new project because I have so much stuff parked already. And yeah, I think it would become, so if I started on an entirely new project and started parking in the lower left, then that might work. We'll see. I might decide to do that on my next project. Stay tuned. But I'm pretty happy with how this works. And like I say, adjust the method until it works for you. That's what I did. I promise I won't be offended. Yeah, because I started out following Needlebug's method and then sort of tweaked it to make the way I do it. So you feel free to do the same. And regardless, you're not always going to be able to come up in empty holes anyway. In a full coverage piece, that's just not possible, at least from what I can see. Or if it was, it would be a lot of work. That it would start to be not so fun. Okay, so I have two parked very close together. Just going to take a look at what we've got. Okay, this one is enough to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do, yeah, because that other one that's a little lower is only enough to do 2 stitches. This has enough to do a little bit more. So I'm going to carry this one over into the next diagonal and carry on with it. And that other one I'm going to do 2 stitches and then end it. So I did this one and then I'm parking it here. Then I'm going to do these 2 that are in these corners, because again, they're not closing anything in. My gosh, that's loud out there, isn't it? Yeah, so do these ones that are in the corners, and then I'll end this off because, yeah, that should work out very nicely. There. Perfect. So I have finally filled in everything that was to the left of this little flower stitch. Yes, that's why I went down so much to the left and worked my way back up, was so I could do that. Yeah. And then I just unthreaded that one I was working with because it's short. Make sure. Okay, yeah. Everything is as it should be. Yeah, I would say this looks a lot more intimidating than it actually is. I know I was intimidated when I first started. I watched a lot of videos and then decided to just jump in. I figured, you know what, if I can't figure it out, I can go back to the way I originally stitched. But nice to try new things, right? Yeah, it was funny. One of my friends shared this, you know, are you a picky eater meme, and you had to take a point for each thing that you won't eat. And after I was done it, I said, you know, I always thought of myself as a picky eater, but honestly, or it was like, have you tried these foods? I'll try almost anything once. If I know I won't like, you know, it's something I've tried and I didn't like it, then I won't. But yeah, if I haven't tried it before, I'll try almost anything. Oh my goodness. There. Does not want to cooperate. It's funny too how your tastes can change. I used to not like zucchini. But then when I was pregnant with my son, I was craving it. And I still like it now. So weird. I don't know, maybe because it's high in iron I was craving it. But yeah, it was odd. And I always thought I didn't like spinach. But I think I just didn't like it the way it was always served to me when I was a kid. It was just a great big, you know, boiled lump of green on your plate. Yeah, I didn't like it. And but I had quite a few meals that came in my meal subscription kit that had spinach in it that you just stir in at the end when it's still hot, and then it, you know, wilts into, adds some color to the dish. And I was going to set it aside and let my husband eat it because he likes it. But I thought, you know what, let's give it a try. And actually, I enjoy it. It's pretty good. So, I don't know. I guess maybe partly how it's prepared, and also maybe it's just your taste can change as you get older. They said, what was it? Kids have a much more sensitive sense of taste. And that some of that side of kind of goes away as you get older or whatever. So they said, yeah, that's why something you didn't like as a kid, you never know. As an adult, you actually may like it. Or yes, try it prepared a different way, because maybe it wasn't prepared in a way that was appetizing to you. Okay, that one, and that one. So this one is really hugging that edge. That's okay. and Carrie's will get stitched over, so it's all good. Then I'm going to unthread this after I park it because it's going to be quite a while until I get to that part because, yeah, there's quite a lot here to fill in before I get down there. So yeah, I mentioned I got rear-ended back in December. Thankfully, I'm fine. Yeah, my car doesn't go into the shop for another like month because they have to special order a back end for it because it wasn't just my bumper that got smacked. The back tail, the whole back tailgate got smashed in. So yeah, it was a great big pickup truck that hit me. So yeah, I'm lucky the hatchback glass didn't break at least. And yeah, fortunate that they've decided to repair it. It's close to the written off cutoff. But I think because it's such low mileage, because of course I don't drive it a lot. Because yeah, just, you know, to run errands in town and take kiddo to and from school. When we do travel out of town, we take my my husband's big truck, so yeah, I think the last time I drove that thing on like an actual highway was I went to my cousin's baby shower years ago. I had white knuckles by the time I got there, as I wasn't used to driving above 60 kilometers. But yeah, I had to go to the next town, about 35 minutes away, so I definitely was in the slower lane the whole way. Let people pass me. Well, people pass you no matter what, right? Even if you're going over the speed limit, it's always going to be too slow for somebody who's in a big rush. Is that it? Okay, good. Okay, good. Another one that is going to be done or tucked away because it is parked in the next diagonal. Okay, let me just double check I'm actually on the right one here. I think I may be looking at the wrong spot. Nope. Is it that? Oh my, what am I doing? Let me take a look here. Okay. What am I doing? Or is it this one I just did? Okay, so... Oh, yes, I was in the wrong square. I think I'm here on this one. Yeah. Yep, because I recognize the color below it. Yeah, gotta be careful. Like I said, I'm still recovering from the ruddy time change. So I actually did this one, this black. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that would have been not good because that is, yeah, 210 is right there. 220, 230, 240 is the bottom. Yeah, that's how far I've gone. My gosh, that would have been not good. Okay, luckily I caught myself. I realized when I was going to park the thread that they didn't match. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I meant to be grabbing this one. Boy, silly me. So let me just take another look now, making sure I'm correct. Okay, here we go. This one. Yeah, it's this one I meant to be grabbing. Boy, My gosh. Yep. Gotta pay attention. Yeah, mostly recovered from not drinking coffee anymore, but I don't know, some mornings. Yeah, unfortunately, it was just giving me gut pain, so I had to give it a pretty brutal headache for about a week. Even though I wasn't a huge coffee drinker, it was 1 cup a day. That was it, but it was enough. My husband quit as well. Kind of said, well, if you're going to quit, I might as well give it a try. I mean, because he's quite sensitive to caffeine too. If he drinks too much, it gives him shaking hands. So, and as an engineer, that's not a good thing. Yeah, and I found once I quit that, I rarely have that mid-afternoon energy crash. So, that's one nice benefit. There we go. Okay. Okay, again, this one is quite a ways from the next instance, and it's a, quite a dark purple color. So I'm going to end this one off. Yeah, restart it later. Yeah, that's not parked, so I'm gonna not bother. I'll leave it for the next diagonal. Okay, so I can see, actually, let's see what we've got. What did I decide? Okay, that's fairly long. And then there's this. So, yeah, what I may do is I'll do these 3 and carry downwards instead. So if there hadn't been one sort of parked up in that far right, I would have carried this up to the right and then gone back down. But because there is a thread parked there, that changed my strategy. There. Okay, so I need new of that color, 413. Oh, pardon me. Oh. Okay, so I think I'm going to call it a day here. And thank you for joining me today. And I hope to see you again next time. All right, thanks everybody. Bye.